Typhoon Hagibis made landfall earlier in Kanagawa and is now moving inland towards the northeast, with winds estimated of 90 miles per hour and a pressure of 956 millibars at 9 p.m. local time this October 12th. The CDPS is looking to Tokyo right now for its potential impact, catastrophic quite potentially in many areas. Stage 7 on the CDPS, mainly due to its rainfall potential but also its wind size. The wind field size is very large. Here's a look at the storm right now with its wind field extending out to around 250 miles in most directions. 35.7 degrees north, 139.6 degrees east as of the current time. It's just 3 miles from Setagaya in western Tokyo, 8 miles from the center of Tokyo, 28 from Chiba, 68 from Mito, and 119 from Iwaki. The storm will continue to push up towards the northeast over the next few hours. Typhoon warnings in effect for large parts of Honshu, extending up to southern Hokkaido now, and gale advisories in effect for pretty much everywhere else. It's not just going to be the winds for many areas, it's going to be the rainfall which will cause serious impacts, inland in particular. There are flood warnings and inundation expected, and landslides indeed, for many of the hillier parts of central Japan, with rainfall estimates could be reaching 600 millimeters or higher, potentially even as high as 1,000 millimeters in some areas. Coastal regions and the populated zones will probably receive maybe up to 200 millimeters of rainfall, and further north perhaps a little bit higher than that along the coast as the storm trails on towards the northeast. There is the rain trail, you can see it quite clearly there on that graphic. Sea surface temperatures, well, they're not really relevant anymore, but once the storm does emerge off the coast, it will still be fairly warm, around 25 degrees Celsius, dropping off pretty quickly though. This is the forecast. Obviously it's made landfall, so this model run is slightly out of date, but you can see there it will still have strong winds by the time it moves off the eastern coast of Honshu, and then off towards the northeast. It'll be looking more lopsided by then, and it probably already is undergoing its extratropical transition, and it will complete that probably in about 24 hours, moving over the colder waters. Many storms do see their end by the time they just reach the eastern coast of Japan and just beyond there. So these are the chances of tropical storm force winds. Obviously already occurring in Tokyo, 97% at Iwaki, 89% at Niigata on the western coast, showing you how large that wind field is, 94% in Fukushima, and 93% at Sendai further north. The models calling again for that gradual weakening to continue, dropping to tropical storm status later tonight, by tomorrow morning I should think, and it will turn post-tropical. Wind shear is not going to give this storm any chance by the time we get to Sunday. Sea surface temperature is not really relevant, as I said. Relative humidity will be dropping off a little bit too. So really the storm is on its way out. It's not going to happen quickly, and we're still looking at typhoon conditions. Look how large this storm was when it moved through earlier today, those last daylight images from earlier on, and now tonight with the central core of the storm moving over the Tokyo region. Again, I said just about 8 miles towards the west of the center of Tokyo, but it is moving fairly quickly, a little bit quicker than what we expected actually, so that's potentially a little bit of good news, because the storm will have cleared the whole area hopefully by the time we get to Sunday morning. This storm's danger continues, and we'll be back with more updates later on. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colors wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.